We open the Select Board meeting of Monday, April 8th, 2024, Town Hall, Select Board Chamber, 6:30. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fidler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to open the Select Board meeting for April 8th.
Okay. I'd like to make everyone be aware here and out on Zoom that this is being recorded by Marshfield Community Media, and if you'd be kind of please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I just have a couple of quick comments here under the chairman's comments. We were just talking about that before we came live here, is that everyone was totally interested in the eclipse, although we were pretty far out of the cone. It didn't seem like much here, but I understand there, if you had a camera, you could get some really good pictures. I don't know, we're going to see it again, 2044 is what they say. Also, I just want to make everyone aware that we have a town meeting scheduled for April 22nd, and that we have town elections scheduled for April 27th. This evening also, we're going to be conducting interviews for our two finalists in our open accountant position, and we're going to take a vote this evening. Once this is done, we will again have a strong financial team in place. We'll also be voting on the capital budget this evening. There's been a lot of talk and activity on social media recently about our school roofs. And there's going to be funding out of free cash that will put new 25-year roofs, which is extended roofs, on Daniel Webster, Governor Winslow, Ames Way, and also repair the high school roof. The high school roof is also, Stephen, going to have a fiberglass padded walkway. So, people go up and repair the AC unit or something like that. They walk on the crushed stones and they can puncture it. So we're going to solve and prevent anything like that happening in the future. And as far as timeline, because people will be asking about timeline, it could happen as soon as construction to start prior to the end of this year's school session. So yeah, we're ready to go as soon as we get through town meeting, I believe, on the 22nd. Mr. Administrator, would you be kind enough if we could move the administrator's comments to after the interviews?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, all right. And that way we can do it. And just for anyone that's out here, we're not having an executive session this evening. There will be no executive session. And so we can move on to 6:35. How fast I did that. Anything, Steve, you're good at this. Anything I can move to for 2 minutes, or do you have anything you'd like to
Ned's here.
discuss?
Yeah, Ned's here. 12.
Ned?
Ned's over here.
Ned, all right. So this is item discussion and vote on the request for permission to accept a donation for the recreational trails. Ned Bangs is here as a representative. Let me go to section 12 if I may. I have reviewed this because there's two issues for recreational trails. This is on behalf of the Recreational Trails Committee. I believe it's a donation for $350,
Yes,
and that is from the Martin Coyne family.
yes, it is.
All right, maybe just tell us a little about it.
So Brennan is not only on the Trails Committee, he's my neighbor and used to be in programs with the rec department when he was young, so we have a long history. He and his dad and the family spent a lot of time in the woods growing up and walking, and Brennan helps us out on the trails as well. And when he heard about the project from Eagle Scout Delaney Allen, he wanted to put a bench someplace because benches have been pretty popular item to be requested for the Trails Committee to look and see what we can do. Brennan and his father and family thought about it, and they wanted to donate some money towards the bench. So we're very excited about that and look forward to this May. The bench will be installed and near the end of the rail trail by South River Street. So whether you're walking down to the downtown or walking up north, you park, there's a place to change your boots, jackets, sit down, relax. So if this one goes over really well, then we'll look to come back for another one with another donation.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in, and then you didn't have to wait through, although it is, as I always say, our meetings are riveting, and I know you like to stay for them. You're welcome
Absolutely.
to stay if you'd like to.
Did you want me to talk about the Mountain Bike Classic too?
Which number is that? It's
Number 11?
It's number 11. Why don't we do both?
Sure.
Without objection?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
if you may, you might want to do a vote on this one and then move to the next one.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. So I would like to, number 12, let's go to that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Number 12, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to accept on behalf of the Recreational Trails Committee a $350 donation from the Martin Coyne family. The donation under the guidance of the Eagle Scout candidate Delaney Allen for the construction, installation of a new bench at the rail trail. The funds will be deposited in the Recreational Trails Committee donation and gift account. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the donation on behalf of the Recreational Trails Committee for $350.
Okay, well, we'll zip right to 11 then. This is also, the Recreational Trails Committee is working with Jeff Wilson, I understand,
Yes.
for the third annual Carolina Hills Classic. Maybe you could just give us a brief.
Sure. Jeff is a Marshfield resident. He's a mountain biker. He coaches his daughter's mountain bike team. They use Wampatuck State Forest as their home court, so to speak. Jeff has been really proactive. He's the race director for this race, and the third one now that we're doing. It'll all be within the Carolina Hill Reservation, so we won't be on the road at all. And that's something that we've continued to work with police and fire services to keep everyone apprised to what we're doing and how it works. Based on this, we'll pull a permit for the parking area at Ames Way School. It'll be the June 23rd with a rain date of the June 29th. It's been a great fundraiser the last 2 years, ages 12 through adult, and it's been a positive experience all around.
And I think this is for, correct me if I'm wrong, is to improve and maintain the existing network of trails?
Correct, yes. Monies will go to improve trails at Carolina Hill or Wharf Creek or John Little in town that we use, all Marshfield trails.
Thank you. Without comment or objection, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to approve on behalf of the Recreational Trails Committee, the third annual Carolina Hills MTB Classic for Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, at 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. with a rain date of June 29th, 2024. The race is limited to 150 riders between the ages of 12 to adult. The bike race will benefit the Recreational Trails Committee and the continued efforts to maintain and improve the network of the trails of Marshfield. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the third annual Carolina Hills MTB Classic for Sunday, June 23rd.
Ned, on behalf of the Select Board, thank you for coming in, and thank you, team. They do a great job.
Thank you. Steve, thanks for noticing I was here.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
We all noticed,
Well,
but Steve really
he was
noticed.
hiding behind Anne Marie. We are now past 6:35, as the appointment was noted. So we're going to move forward with our first interview
Sure.
for our town accountant, Gene Ferrari. Is he in the Select Board office?
Yep. He's coming right now, Mr. Chairman. He's entering the chamber.
I think everyone's got his resume and his credentials, had a chance to review it. Nomination Board has spoken to him as well. And why don't you come around and introduce yourself, sir, to the board?
Hey, Steve. Yes, good. How you doing?
Good to see you again, Mr. Ferrari.
Hi, I'm Fiddler. Nice to meet you.
Mr. Ferrari, good to see you again.
So I'll do this for both appointments, so everyone's aware of it. How the process is going to work, we're going to have a time for a 5-minute opening statement.
Sure.
Then we're going to have five questions from the Select Board with a 2-minute answer per question. And then at the end, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions that may not be previously answered. And the board is going to take a vote tonight on the applicants, which will be contacted by HR this evening once the vote has been made.
Sure.
Okay, so without any objection, please give your opening statement, sir.
Okay, well, before I start, I want to thank the committee and the board for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm glad you felt enamored enough with me to invite me back. I appreciate that. What I can bring to Marshfield is not just municipal experience. I have 20 years' experience private or non-municipal. That gives a different flavor to things. You know, you might not think of it, you know, municipal is usually black and white. Black and white, that's what we do. I've got a little bit of a different viewpoint on things. I'm the type of individual it's not just numbers. I have to understand what's going on. Prior life was distribution. I went out on the trucks. I drove with the drivers. I saw what they went through. I did van routes. I went out, worked, pick, pack, and ship. What I can do here in a municipality is, you may not know what it is. When I was in high school, I goon spooned, which is simply cleaning a catch basin by hand. Now they got the big vacuums that come down and do. I did it by hand. I know what these guys go through. I'm that type of individual that wants to get in there and understand how it works, why it works. Now, as far as municipal goes, for 20 years, I've had the, I don't want to call it luxury. When I started in municipal, I learned from the ground up. I did a warrant. I did a warrant. I did several hundreds of warrants, payroll warrants, bills payables, things like posted receipts, posted payables. Gradually got into the actual, what do you want to say, finance end of it, the heavy-duty stuff, the filing for free cash, I know my way around a recap. I've done that. I've sat there and massaged the tax rate. Like I said, I've done free cash. I've done Schedule A. I talked to the Department of Revenue. I know people. In fact, the head of the Department of Revenue now was our DOR rep at one point. I know those. I know who to ask if I don't know the answer. You know, other than that, I've gone to several MMAAA, which is Mass Municipal Accountant and Auditors Association classes. I've got my MBA in finance management. I don't know what else to tell you. That's me in a nutshell. I'm the type of guy that's got to get, for lack of a better term, down and dirty. I can make recommendations. I'm not going to argue with people. I've gone through enterprise, there's a big one, enterprise funds. I've set rates, water, solid waste, transfer station, sewer. Hey, I've gone through, I've set the rates. I've done rate studies. I know systems. I know Munis. Not a huge, I think it's way overpriced, but that's my own opinion. It does what you need it to do, and it does it real, real well. I know Munis. You know, that's me in a nutshell. I don't know what else to tell you. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll kick off the questions if I may, colleagues. And then maybe we'll start with the vice chair, and we'll just go around the circle. That work for everyone? Sure. Okay. All right. Have you reviewed our budget and/or our annual report? And explain what skills and approaches you would use in shaping the budgets for stability and factoring long-term capital requirements.
One of the things I would try to do with capital is tuck money aside for ambulance purchases out of the ambulance run revenues that you get. Instead of taking 100% for the general fund, take 20%, tuck it aside for a future ambulance. Buy it in, 3 years. These prices go up. I remember one town, we just said, we're going to tuck money aside. We're going to tuck money aside. And we did it for 4 years. By the time you got to year 4, that price went from $1 million to $2 million. But I would tuck money aside for ambulances. I see that Marshfield is contributing, I would try to contribute a little bit more to a stabilization fund, if at all possible. It's nice to have that money. I would also establish different reserve funds, whether it's a revenue stabilization reserve fund in case something blows up and you got to tap into it. I would, it's a pretty bare bones budget. I mean, you guys have scrubbed it. You've done a heck of a job with it. I don't see a lot of luxury in there. I'm sure department heads feel the same way. That's, my way of thinking. I would never use free cash to fund your budget. You use free cash to buy one-time deals, one-time things that you need. If you start funding your budget with free cash and the next year you don't have free cash, you're hurting. So I'm fiscally conservative, but I would never use free cash to fund your budget.
Great, thank you very much for your answers. Vice Chair?
Thank you. So this is your second question of the evening, but there are multiple parts to it, as Jim's question as well.
Okay.
What is your experience with financial audits? Have you participated in an annual audit? What was the worst or most troubling management letter finding regarding your particular areas or area of responsibility, and how did you respond to it? So I'll repeat
Yeah, that's a
question
lot. That's a
number
big
one
one, isn't
for
it?
you. So question number one is, what is your experience with financial audits? And you did mention that in your,
Yeah.
if you would expand on that.
Sure. We, audits done annually. I recommend that you sign a 3-year contract. I also recommend that you don't get too complacent with the auditors. Auditors get complacent with you, you get complacent with them. It's good to go out to bid every 3 years. I'm not saying change every 3 years, but go out to bid every 3 years. But we've done audits, 20 years worth of, every year we do annual audits. It's, if you want to say necessary evil, I'm familiar with, we use Melanson Heath, which is now, I think, Markham. I'm familiar with Powers and Sullivan. Those are the big ones in Massachusetts. I've sat there, done audits with them. I've been lucky with Melanson Heath in the fact that they understand our business, our town real well. So I can call them and ask them for questions. A lot of times you're sitting with the junior auditor and it's like you have to explain things to get through. I also do spot audits with departments. Just come in and, this is my own internal audit, if that's what you want to call it. Make sure they're turning over receipts and, on a timely basis. You're not sitting with, thousands of dollars in your little cash box in your office. Turn them into the treasurer. Get them in. Do spot checks, make sure they do what they say and say what they do.
Okay.
Let's see, management letters. One of the big ones we had was water department acted on their own. The system, they had their own little system. It didn't tie to ours, which they just gave us numbers. All they did was give us numbers. We didn't know whether they were right, wrong, or indifferent. No clue. That was noted on one of the audits. We went in there and revamped the entire thing, the entire billing system. They came we didn't have the space in our office for them, but we actually went up and sat there and took receipts. I did it, so we had a sense of what they gave us or what they were giving us was correct. The management letter was then, what do you want to say, stricken, resolved,
Okay.
so
Okay, so your response to that was that you went in and you revamped.
revamped the
Work.
entire,
Okay.
the entire process.
Okay.
We sat there and did it ourselves.
Okay. So that's the responses for question one. Steve, you're next.
Alrighty. So working in local government can present unique challenges. So based upon your previous municipal experiences, what are your expectations of this position in its role within our organization?
Everyone wants more money in their budget. And there's going to be, I don't want to say arguments, there's going to be disagreements. One thing I can do is, and I'm saying this because I referee high school football and baseball and basketball, is I can disarm an argument. I want to be a friend. I don't want to say a friend because then it's, hey, do this for me, do that. I'm the watchdog. Let's put it that way. I'm the watchdog. I can tell you what you can do, what you can't do. I know Chapter 44 pretty well. One of the tough things that we've done in the past is, I had to slap somebody's hand for, you can't do it as much as they want to. They went out and had a party with taxpayers' dollars. They bought, coffee and donuts and stuff like that. Not on taxpayers' dollars, you can't. You can do it if you're having another town in and you're having a presentation or something. You can't feed your department. It's not popular, but sometimes you got to put your foot down. I want to understand their business. I'm not going to say I know their business. I don't, the police go 4 on, 2 off. We can look at other ways to do it, but he's gone through it. I'm sure he knows, based on union rules and what he can do and what he cannot do, that's what he's got to do. I don't know the DPW's business ins and outs or, the plowing of the roads, and he knows that. I'm willing to help him out. I want to understand their business, but I want to keep them in line. That's key. I can't let everyone just go run roughshod. There goes your budget. You lose it.
Thank you.
Back to my turn here. So could you briefly describe a few examples of the types of accounts included in the following funds? Any particular challenges or regulations you have found while operating these types of funds? So just some challenges, examples. We'll start off with an easy one. How about general funds?
Several different, that's your town budget, essentially. That's departments, challenges there, or we sit down, we do a budget, it's, I don't know what else. It's general, it's all the departments, department heads. It's not an enterprise fund, it's not your special revenue funds, it's not your trust fund. Challenges there are snow and ice, for example. That's in your general fund budget. Once you budget snow and ice and you set a budget, you cannot go any lower. I recommend keeping it as low as possible. You can always overspend it and fund it. You can't go any lower than, if you all of a sudden have a bad winter and you say, oh, geez, now we need $400,000. You can never go below $400,000. You have to keep it there, or, at least there. You can't go any higher.
Thank you. The second one is special revenue funds.
Those are just, those are funds designated for a particular use. You've got gifts and grants. You've got state, special revenue funds from the states. Say that again. Federal special revenue funds. They're designated for a particular use. You raise the money, you can raise the money, you tuck it aside in there. It could be receipts from something, it could be, gifts and grants. Money comes in from whomever, and there are rules and regulations associated with that.
Thank you. They always fund enterprise funds.
I've established enterprise funds, again, we ran one before we established them. It was still part of the general fund, but we ran, it's not the popular thing to say, but 2 sets of books. Stayed in the general fund, but we also ran it as an enterprise fund. It never got reported as an enterprise fund. The next year, it was an enterprise fund, so we had a good understanding of it. You've got different, it runs itself. You've got to account for a lot of overhead in that. If they were going to go out and get their own accountant, their own treasurer, their own legal counsel, that's always, that's a cost to them. You've got the overhead cost that they may be sharing an office space. I also, a tendency with an enterprise fund, especially like a transfer station, is you've got a huge capital outlay up front. You've got the scale, you've got things like that up front. They may not be able to operate as a true enterprise fund, but eventually an enterprise fund will be self-sufficient. They will have their own money tucked aside for their own capital purchases. Their own retained earnings is what they call them in an enterprise fund. They'll have their own funds they can use. They won't have to borrow or be indebted to the general fund.
Thank you. Just 2 left. Trust funds?
I do know they are a pain to change. They've already been set up. They've been legally recorded as what they can be used for, who can use them, how it's done. Is it a scholarship fund? Is it for a 4-year school? Is it for a 2-year school? Library has their own trust funds that usually are controlled by the library board of trustees. We report the numbers, we account for the interest. Can interest only be used? Everything's recorded. I do know one time that we tried to change one in one of the towns I was in. This goes back to my 2-year, 4-year. It gave out scholarships for a 4-year school. A lot of kids didn't go to 4-year schools. They went to 2-year colleges first. They're giving out scholarships, and we looked at it and said, nah. What's been done's been done. You can't take the money from somebody. We tried to change it. You've got to go through, that's where town council gets involved. That's beyond me. It's not easy and simple just to say, let's do this. So.
Thank you. And last but not least, agency funds.
Money that is usually held for another purpose, whether it be detail funds, that's money that you're holding for a deposit. Somebody puts money down on a project, their bond payment. It's held for them. They can come back. They will get that money. Again, detail fund is a big one. You get the money in there, you pay them out of there, and at the end of the year, depending on, I don't know what the markup is here. Different towns have different rates, 45, 50, 55 bucks an hour. That includes other things. You get to keep that. It doesn't go into the agency fund, but you're holding money for somebody else, essentially, is what it is.
Thank you very much. My question is over.
Go ahead, Steve.
What do you consider to be the biggest challenge facing municipalities today in terms of finance?
Finding enough money to do what you want. I mean, there's always road work that's got to be done. There's finding the money. You can only, you're governed. You can only go up 2.5%. Well, I mean, you got new growth and other things. A lot of people don't understand that. They look at it and say, oh, my taxes went up more than 2.5%. Everything being equal from the year before, it's only 2.5%. You've got new growth. You've got valuations, you've got things like that in there. One of the things I think is, it's a necessary evil, it has to be reported, OPEB funding. It's a liability, it has to be shown on the books. You contribute money to it, but I hate to say it, it's a fictitious number. You're never going to catch it because the state has recognized this with the market going down. They keep extending the date to get fully funded. I remember it used to be 2028, and I think it's out to like 2042. Something like, all they do is extend it so you can, gives you longer time to catch up. Money keeps going up. I think that, you could use that money better elsewhere, but that's one of the big ones. Capital purchases, another huge one that's, especially now with supply chain, things like that. I mean, you order an ambulance now. Oh, yeah. You order a vehicle, a truck. Yeah, even yourself, privately, you order it, the lead time to get that isn't, oh, yeah, we can do that, you'll have it in 6 months. 6 months is now a year and a half. So you're running into the next, you've got, that's a key issue now, the economy. There's interest rates. They're, you used to have great interest rates for your money. You don't have them anymore. Those are some of the issues right now.
Well, thank you. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask of the board, or?
No, I've looked it over pretty good. I've looked at the annual report. The other, you've got a fall town meeting. Yeah, everyone has a spring and a fall town meeting. You like free cash to be certified in the past, it never had to be certified. There were no money articles in the fall town meeting, or very seldom. You had a lot of zoning articles, things like that. Now it's, do you fund a lot from your free cash with the fall town meeting? Or is it still mostly a zoning, tying up loose ends and doing zoning articles in your fall town meeting?
We fund from both.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about the last couple of years. Michael, you might know the numbers a little better, but I think the spring is a heavier meeting than the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do free cash both meetings.
Okay.
My recollection of the last few years that we've done this, with
Yeah.
spring being heavier.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Pretty
That's-
standard?
Yeah, now it is. It never used to be, like I said, it used to be strictly zoning articles and a few minor money articles, leftover bills, things like that. Now it's changed. It's changed quite a bit, so you want to get your free cash certified. Hopefully get it in there sometime at the end of September, beginning of October, and let DOR go through and do their stuff.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for coming in, taking the time with us.
No, thank
really
you. I appreciate it.
Your thoughtful answers, Mr. Ferrari.
And I stayed within my time limit, correct?
Did. We've got like 25 items tonight. It's a busy night for some reason. But thank you very much for coming in. And
I
as I said, we
appreciate
will
it.
be taking a vote this evening, and we will get back to you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
One more time.
Thank you.
Pleasure to see you.
Thank you so much.
The next one is Margaret LeMay, 6:55. Got to pass the time, so we're good to go.
We should have like entrance music.
She's entering the chamber right now, Mr. Chairman.
Okey dokey. Hello, Ms. Margaret May, how are you?
I'm good.
Come on up here and let's introduce you to the board.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Michael May.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Jim Kilcoyne, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Hello, Lynn Fiddler, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'd like to thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'll just go over the process a little, so we're on the same team on that. We're going to allow a 5-minute opening statement.
Okay.
Then we're going to do 5 questions with, approximately 2-minute answer for each question. And at the end, you'll have an opportunity to ask us any questions. And then after the conclusion, we'll be conducting a vote this evening. Okay?
Sounds great.
Okay. How about if I kick it off?
Sure.
After you make your 5-minute statement.
Oh, 5 minutes. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I can fill 5 minutes, but I'll do my best. Going way back, I had my undergrad degree from Holy Cross, but it was psychology degree, which actually does come in handy in terms of anything in life. And then after graduation, I enrolled in a Master's of Science in Taxation program at Suffolk. However, it was a graduate diploma degree in accounting, which gave me the hours to sit for the CPA exam. And I did sit for the CPA exam. I passed. I am a CPA. And initially, I got my public experience working for my father, who had a CPA practice. And that's where I got an introduction to municipal world. We did audits. And then at a certain point, I made the decision that I wanted to get into the town accountant role for municipalities. So I have been in the municipal accounting role or finance director role for 17 years. And right now, I am working for Clifton Larson Allen, and we do consulting for municipalities. That was not 5 minutes.
No. But that's fine.
I'm good with that.
So let me kick off. Have you reviewed our budget and/or our annual report? And explain what skills and approaches you would use in shaping budgets for stability, kind of factoring in long-term capital needs expenditures?
Sure. So I think in terms of if you're talking from a stability standpoint, one of the really important things to kind of focus on or to consider is to have a 5-year or 10-year forecast for capital or for revenue forecasts. You can have a 1-year only, but it's also very helpful to have a 5-year projection out because then you can see what other expenses are there and start to prepare accordingly. And that's, I think, is the biggest key towards sustainability, because sustainability is the key to budgets. It's, that you can have the same performance year over year.
Thank you. So I take it you have reviewed our budget?
Yes, I have reviewed your budget, yes.
Thank you.
So this first question that I'm going to ask you, there are multi-parts to
Sure.
it, so we'll need our thinking caps on for it, but I'm happy to ask the question again.
Okay.
What is your experience with financial audits, and have you participated in an annual audit? We'll start there, and then there's another couple of questions.
Sure. Yes, so in the 17 years that I have worked in municipalities, the annual audit occurs every year, so I have had a role in participating. And generally speaking, so there are different phases to an audit. There's the testing period, and then there's where they're wrapping it up and pulling together the financial statements. And all throughout that process, the auditors will have questions, or they'll need additional documentation. They need trial balances, general ledger, et cetera, so that they can start their testing, so that they can start to compile the financial statements. And generally speaking, my role was also to kind of be the conduit with other departments in terms of compiling the information. So that has been my experience with financial audits.
Okay, thank you. So what was the worst or most troubling management letter finding regarding your particular areas of responsibility, and how did you respond to it?
Sure. I would say that in terms of, on the accounting side, generally speaking, there weren't, I don't feel like any of the comments were anything that were serious, just mainly because I'd had experience with audits. So I kind of have always had that perspective in terms of making sure that, in terms of internal controls, financial reporting, that it's been clean. I will say that in one town that I worked in, the most troubling management letter comment was that cash reconciliations were not being completed. However, that is in the treasurer's office. And it was a comment or a concern that I brought up to management. So they were prepared for it. And I think at that point, it was just something that needed to be addressed, and it was in process of being addressed.
All right, so working in local government can present unique challenges. Based upon your previous municipal experiences, what are your expectations of this position and the position's role within our organization?
Sure. So expectations would be that from an accounting standpoint, it'd be pretty standard to any other community, which is financial reporting, maintenance of the general ledger, making sure the internal controls are in place. And then in terms of the organization, it would be making sure that I'm functioning as a core part of the finance department and collaborating with the other two aspects of the finance department, which would be assessing and the treasurer collector's office.
Thank you.
This one has a couple little components to it, if you could, and so but it's pretty straightforward. Briefly describe a few examples of the types of accounts in the following funds.
Sure.
All right? And any particular challenges or regulations you found while operating within these types of funds? And the first one's general fund.
General fund, so that would be your operating budget. Generally speaking, that's comprised of all the departments, and it would be salaries and expenses. And challenges, it's just making sure that your budget balances.
Special revenue funds.
Special revenue funds, I would say that probably your two, definitely grants, federal and state grants. It's going to be one of the largest, especially for a community such as Marshfield. There's a lot of money coming in, especially for school grants, and then for seawalls and dredging and that type of thing. So federal and state grants, and then another big component of special revenue funds can often be gifts and donations.
Thank you. Enterprise funds.
Enterprise funds. So the different types of enterprise funds are generally, or they are, laid out by Mass General Law. Probably the most common would be water and sewer. So there's, Department of Revenue has an enterprise manual. You just have to make sure that you're in compliance with the rules of enterprise funds. And it's not too much different from general fund reporting. There's just they are separate entities, and they're self-supporting. And I think the main component with the general fund would be like indirect costs, but that would be the majority.
Thank you. Trust funds.
Trust funds. So that you have your expendable and non-expendable. So if there are like a principal donation that has been made to the town, and and it's for a specific purpose, that could be a trust fund. Stabilization is a very common trust fund, as is OPEB.
Thank you. And final one is agency funds.
Agency funds. So agency funds are generally funds, or they are funds for the inflow and outflow of resources are neither a revenue nor expense of the town. So two common versions of that would be police details, because the police officers are doing the detail. they're being paid through payroll, and then the money is coming in from whoever ordered the detail. And then another one would be firearms. So the police department would collect it, but then they have to turn over a portion of it to the state. And usually there's a component that the town gets to keep, but it's a smaller portion of it.
Thank you. Mr. Darcy?
What do you consider to be the biggest challenge facing municipalities today in terms of finance?
That would be very easy. It's Proposition 2.5, because it's very limiting in terms of the budget increase every year, because on the school side, special ed costs go up every year. On the town side, or as a shared cost, health insurance, pension. So the amount that you get from 2.5 is very easily eaten up with those kinds of costs.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for the board?
I guess the question that I would have is, what qualities, characteristics are you looking for in a successful candidate for this position?
Either my colleagues want to kick that off?
Competency.
I think one of the key pieces of the pie, I'm going to use a little Lynism, is that you constantly show up for work, you stay level-headed when things are not exactly going the way, and dig in, do your homework, and communicate. Because without those things, and when you leave at the end of the day, tomorrow's a new day. And so you have to have the right mindset to be in a role like accounting. It's just, it can be a lot. I deal with numbers. It can be a lot. So you get up, you shake it off, and you get back to work. And the noise and all the other things, you have to be able to control. But when you can't get to that place, you need to communicate.
Got it.
So that's
And that makes sense.
important in how I go through my days, so.
No, that makes perfect sense.
So I'll just build on the two. I think you also need a certain temperament, because it is a very challenging position, and have the skill sets to be able to work broadly with different departments, understand those departments, kind of pull it all together. So I think that's a good feeling. And
Exactly.
in case anyone wants to ask you more, did we answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, thank
Any
you.
others?
No, not right now, no. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
As we outlined previously, we're going to have a discussion and vote after the interview, and then we will get back to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
It was
you
nice
very
to meet
much.
all of you.
So just from a procedural perspective, team, what do you want to do here? Do you want to do the discussion now, follow up directly from the interview, or do you want to have the town administrator report?
I think we're good.
Probably vote so the
Yeah,
candidates
let's-
can know sooner.
I think so, too.
Let's just get to
Yep.
the crunch of it.
All right, then, so I was on part of the selection team. These were our two finalists. I think they're two different personalities and different types of people, different skill sets. So I'd like to open it up to either of you for what.
Well, was
you
there
took from this.
anything that you gained from the steering committee, questions and responses, that you feel Steve and I should be aware of? For Meg, for example, and then for our other candidate, Jean?
Yeah, Mr. Ferrari. Not really, no. You can see they're
Yeah.
two quite diverse individuals. You can ask more questions, but the style and tempo and type of answer are extremely consistent. As we had maybe 8 or 9 questions, something
Yeah.
like that. We window them down to the better ones here for us. So I did not find that. I think both their style and how they would work within this town comes through with your interview, and it's very consistent with what the interviews we had earlier this week.
Okay.
Mr. Darcy?
Sure. It's no secret that there's been a lot of volatility and turnover at the treasurer and accountant position over the last few years. So I'm looking for both competency and stability in our next town accountant. And while they both seem like very intelligent and very sharp individuals, when I look through Jean's resume, every 1, 2, 3 years, a lot of times as quickly as one, there's movement to a different municipality. And so I would hate to have another accountant for only a year or two and then move on. And, there may be a good reason for this, I don't know, but I mean, some of the positions have been as far out west as Holyoke and now all the way back to Cumberland, Rhode Island. So there seems to be a lot of bouncing around. So again, I would just look for a little bit more stability. And Meg seemed outstanding, very confident, so I would be in favor of appointing Meg as our next treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Darcy. That was an area of concern. I always go to resumes first. They're very easy to read, and you can see, movement, I think, is good. And if it's short-term, like you're bringing up, if it's positionally higher, up in the hierarchy of an organization or larger municipality. But there was some movements back and forth, where Meg also is bringing, I think, to us a really strong experience base in Munis, and we're converting to Munis, and it's really important that the person we bring on board has that red eye of the chute, as far
Right.
as I'm concerned.
Right.
Vice Chair, anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just going to compare the two for a second, just for my own style of going through reviews. So when I listened and took notes on Gene, I had a very difficult time following his responses. So in a couple of the things he said didn't match up, snow and ice, for example. There are a couple of things that he said that aren't what I know to be fact. So I had that type of situation when I was listening to him. And I found Meg to be very concise. She was able to understand the questions quickly. She gave us a thorough answer, and it was clear, and it was what I expected. So that, just in the time that they had to speak to us, those were great to see from Meg, and not as well defined for Jean, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments, Mr.?
Nope.
Any other comments? All right, so what I've heard is, I think we've already got one board member that has indicated his preference for Margaret LeMay. And then without objection, but there can be further discussion, I would like to make a motion that the board moves to appoint Margaret LeMay for the town accountant position, effective April 28th, 2024. The contract details to be prepared by the town administrator and, of course, by town council. And I'd look for a second for that.
Second.
Motion been made and duly second, and roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to appoint Meg LeMay Town Accountant, effective April 28, 2024, with successful negotiation of the contract with the town administrator and town council.
And,
Mr. Chairman, could
Yes,
we
sir.
do Lieutenant Sullivan quickly?
yes,
Thank you. It's number 8 and number 9.
is Danielle reaching out to the candidates?
Yes, I'll send her a text.
Okay, thank you. Number 8, you said, Mr. Darcy?
Yes. The seasonal beach hires.
Yep. Oh. There's a lot
That's
of
some
them.
reading.
Yeah. So 8, this is discussion vote for the new and returning seasonal beach hires for Marshfield beaches. The first one I saw, Lieutenant Sullivan, I'll let you brief it, is there are 16 seasonal beach hires. There are lifeguards, beach parking, attendants, snack bar, all sorts of things. And then we have 15 returning lifeguards
We have
and 17 parking and snacks supervisors who have had at least 1 year's summer experience.
That's correct. We have 32 returning employees we're excited to have back. We have 16 great candidates we just finished interviewing for this year as well.
So I take it you've interviewed the candidates, Beach Commissioner Castro has interviewed the candidates as well?
That's right.
You happy with all of them?
We are.
All of them have gone through background checks?
Yep. Background checks, any lifeguards that would like to lifeguard this summer need to get certified as a condition for their employment. They understand that.
So I don't know from a procedural, do I read the names out, do you think?
Yes, Mr.
I think
Chairman,
that's
if you
probably the
could
best way
read
to
into the
do it.
record, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to read into the record. Brendan McLaughlin, Andrew Hickey, Jack Ferris, Milia Tarabe, Nathan O'Brien, James Leach, Jack McSorley, Emin Yoon, Jackson Hennihan, Nathan Russell, Justin Lemire, Brian Cronin, Deborah Sullivan, Matthew Bilodeau, is that
Bilodeau,
correct?
yep.
Bilodeau, Theodore DeVoe, and Madron Lemon. Then we'll move for the lifeguards as well. Riley McNeely, Amanda White, Dylan Ward, Brenda Hanlon, Joseph Cotanoni,
Colin Tony.
thank you, Joseph Sioka, Samuel Holte, Kayla Crossman, Mary Aaron O'Donnell, Nicole Murphy, Charlie Simpson, Anthony Melander, Cara Leahy, Mackenzie Murphy, Mitch Davis.
Yes.
We'll move on to the parking snack bar and supervisors. James Murphy, Brenda White, Jack Marari, Liam Cronin, Joseph Corbo, Caitlin Colby-Fleisch, do you think? Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm terrible with names.
Yep.
Gwen Bridges, Gabriella Silvera, Madison Carlson, Elias Horn, Blake Horn, Norman McGilvery, Susan Sloan, Nathan Zimmer, Allie Ferris, Dylan, I think that might be Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah, and Maria Ramos. And I apologize to people for my pronunciation of their names. I'm not the best at that, but I think we got through that. We also have a little write-up on each of the attendees that are returning for the summer of 2024. Thank you for bringing this forward. Any questions or comments from my peers?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the aforementioned new seasonal beach employees as candidates for lifeguards, beach parking attendants, and the snack bar staff. All the applicants have had their background checks, all the lifeguard recommendations have had their certifications or are in the process of obtaining as a condition of their employment, and that the board move to approve the aforementioned rehired staff for this summer's seasonal beach operations as lifeguards, parking attendants, snack bar staff, and supervisors for the summer of 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the new seasonal beach employees and rehire the summer seasonal beach people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve,
What do you want? Oh, hand it to Steve? There you
your green folder.
go. Okay. Stephen, do you want me to go to a different one? Do you want me to go to 9 here?
Yes.
I thought you might.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have the Chamber of Commerce donate $5,000 to the beach fund. We're very thankful to Lara and Jeremy and the whole operation. It's a significant amount of money. We're really appreciative.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is a discussion and vote for request for permission to accept a donation for the Marshfield beaches. Yes, it is from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce. It is a nice donation, and I'm sure it'll be put to very good use. And any discussion from my peers? Then, without objection, then I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to accept on behalf of the Marshfield beaches a donation in the amount of $500 from the Marshfield.
5,000.
Sorry, $5,000. Yeah, $5,000 from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion's been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve it says, just, I want to be clear, it says in the email of $500.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But then it says in the motion, 5,000.
5,000.
500. In my motion, it says 500, but okay.
two,
As long as we know, I just want to make sure we knew it was
The correct amount is?
500.
500.
Yes.
Is it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, clarified that. It's a great donation. We really appreciate it for our beaches. Now, let's see where we are. I think we're back to Mr. Maresco. I think we get your report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Keep it chipper.
I will try to go through it. It's been a while since we got together. Weekly call into WATD to discuss current issues and review the Select Board meeting agenda. Participated in a meeting with Attorney Gwen Nolan King, representing the owners of 19 Pearl Street, and our Building Commissioner Andrew Stewart to work out some ongoing issues with this property. Participated in a meeting with Andrew Stewart, our Building Commissioner, Attorney Walter Sullivan, regarding 853 Plain Street, ongoing issues that may require principal use change and site plan approval from the ZBA, and the tenants will need permit changes also. Attended a meeting with Fred Russell, our Facility Director, Matt Parent, Energy Consultants, regarding a DEP grant for Level 2 electric charging stations, 13 units with 2 chargers on each for vehicles around our town, including the schools. Attended an MBTA follow-up meeting with the Mass Municipal Association and the Attorney General's Office regarding questions and process that must be followed to get our MBTA zoning approved by the Commonwealth and town meeting to simplify and designate an area that meets or exceeds the state's requirements. Participated in a meeting with Marlene Nunes, Andrew Stewart, Courtney Ellis, and Lieutenant Sullivan to answer specific questions regarding the type of enclosures required to keep her dogs and residents safe following the dog hearing before the Select Board. Attended Treasurer Tom O'Brien, Plymouth County Commissioners meeting regarding the Plymouth County OPEB Trust Fund. Plymouth County OPEB Trust Fund is a unique IRS Section 115 multi-employee irrevocable trust program, and we'll be comparing that to what we have. Meeting with Sean Strobel, our treasurer, to discuss the warrant motions in town meeting. Meeting with Fred Russell regarding the ongoing town maintenance project at the schools, town hall project, GAR hall project, library generator, and the blacksmith shop. Meeting with Chief Tavares regarding post-certification and post-accreditation, new police cruisers, and the emergency operations system. Participated in a meeting with Leslie Fields from the Woods Hole Group, Greg Guimont, our town planner, and Rod Procaccino for the Marshfield DPW and Duxbury team for the beach nourishment project on both Green Harbor Beach in Marshfield and in Duxbury, and prep for the public meeting. Participated in a meeting with Chief Simpson and his attorney Tim Burke, Bob Galvin, Town Council, John Clifford, our Labor Council. Participated in the meeting with the Fire Union with John Clifford, our Labor Council. Participated at the Special Select Board meeting regarding the approval of the seasonal liquor licenses holders so that they could order their supplies, and appointment of the 2 inspectors of animals in Marshfield, Courtney Ellis, our Animal Control Officer, and Lieutenant William Sullivan. On March 19th, the warrants for the annual special town meeting were made available a week before the joint Select Board and Advisory Board meeting, hosted by monthly department head meeting at the library on the 19th. Discussion included the joint meeting on the 26th, warrant review, and stressed the importance of department heads to be there and answer any questions if necessary, and that goes to town meeting also. Website update, digitalization of records, update on collective bargaining agreements, and open enrollment for health insurance, followed by department updates. Participated in the joint meeting of the Advisory Board and Select Board meeting with the moderator and Town Council and Select Board to review the warrant articles for the annual and the special town meeting. Had a meeting with our 2 deputy fire chiefs, Tom Corbo and Mike LaSalva, regarding ongoing issues, coverage, and maintenance at the fire department. Participated in an interview with Rob Godis from MCM with the Harbor Master Mike DeMeo regarding an update on our new ramp project at the town pier in Brant Rock. Participated in the Housing Trust training with Shelley from the Mass Housing Partnership, with Lynn Fiddler, Karen Horn, and Fred Monaco. Had a meeting with Keith Douglas, the owner of Shoreline Aviation, regarding easements and other land. Participated in police union negotiations regarding a 3-year contract with Labor Council. I joined Andrew Stewart for a tour of the new marijuana facility, Health Circle, going to be located on Enterprise Drive, to see how close they are to finishing and if they're on track to open in June of 2024. Participated in a meeting with the Boys and Girls Club, Fred Russell and Tony Bullock, regarding their potential photovoltaic project for the club. Participated at the Special Select Board meeting to appoint Fire Chief Bill Hawking, the acting fire chief. Attended the Pilgrim Station Emergency Planning meeting at the EOC with other towns, Town Council Bob Galvin, and other town departments. Hosted a meeting with Jeff Granatino, our Superintendent of Schools, Tom Miller, the Assistant Superintendent, and Business Manager Lara Brait, School Committee, and Sean Costello, Chair of the School Committee, to discuss the budget and some financial assistance in FY25. Hosted the DIRT meeting, which stands for Develop and Review Team, to review a number of requests from the Chamber regarding Stratton Avenue, cleaning the brook behind the library, adding a crosswalk at the skate parking lot across from Tumble Fund, and other issues. We'll be having a follow-up meeting with Lara in the chamber later this month. Participated in a tabletop exercise at the ELC with the Marshfield Police Department, Marshfield Fire Department, and the DPW in preparation for the Levitate Festival and Fair, put on by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Participated in the joint meeting of the Select Board and Advisory Board to review the warrant for the special and annual town meeting. Participated in the CRS PPI planning meeting with the committee and town planner regarding changes in the 5-year review to submit to FEMA. April town meeting representation by Andrew Stewart, our building commissioner, and review of items that need to be completed in calendar year 2024. Had a meeting with Ned Bangs regarding the 4 concerts that will take place this summer, 2 on the town green, 1 at the Boys and Girls Club, and 1 at Harbor Park. And if rains on any of those dates, they'll be at the Boys and Girls Club, where they can accommodate them inside. Meeting with Kara and Lisa, our veterans agent, regarding the veteran street sign and location to host the unveiling that provides a safer place and ample parking. Participated in a meeting with our PFAS legal counsel from Barron and Budd and Paul Duros from the DPW regarding the process and required additional testing. We are very close to a settlement nationwide. Participated in the Revolutionary Honor Roll Committee. Anticipated unveiling of the Honor Roll is scheduled for April 19, 2026. Participated with the Chamber in the filming of a narrative regarding the Atlantic Resiliency Innovation Institute, which is a partnership of the Chamber, Marshfield Schools, the town of Marshfield, Northeastern University to study coastal storms, resiliency, and employment opportunities. Participated in the MMA's Regional Policy Committee to review a number of pieces of legislation, including the Supplemental Budget and Modernization Act that's before the legislature. Attended the storm meeting at the EOC to prepare for the Northeaster with the Marshfield Police Department, Fire Department, and DPW. Did a taping with MCM TV regarding the town election, early voting, absentee voting, and poll hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Election Day. Participated in the Capital Budget Committee to review capital budget articles. Participated in the Town Accountant Search Committee interviews with the 2 candidates. Had a meeting with Wally Coyle from the library regarding the event he'd like to host on New Year's Eve, honoring local public servants. Meeting with Timothy Castro regarding work at the GAR and the need for facilities to work more cooperatively and closely with the Historic Commission when repairing historic buildings using CPC funds. That is my report.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Sullivan reached out to Kate, and he said it is $5,000 from the chamber.
Wow, great.
Because it was listed 2 different ways.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, okay, hey, we're happy to take the extra
So,
45.
Can I redo it?
Let's
don't we
redo
redo
that vote. Yeah, because in one packet it was 5 and in one packet it was 5,000. We're confirmed it is 5,000. I think that was, what, 9 or something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. Yep. Thank Kate.
So, to clarify, the generous donation from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce, sorry for the confusion, ultimate apologies. I would like to make a motion that the board moves to accept on behalf of the Marshfield Beaches a donation in the amount of $5,000 from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the $5,000 donation.
And then, once again, to the chamber, my deepest apologies.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the gentleman to our left is here for the Wrexham Beach Parking Lot celebration,
Okay.
which is number 15.
I love the fact you know all these people. Number 15.
Thank Kate for that one, too.
All right, thank you, Kate. Come on up, sir. This is a discussion and vote on a request for permission to hold a Wrexham Beach parking lot celebration on Sunday, May 19th, 2024, from 6 to 8 p.m. You can find it under sleeve number 15 in your packet. I think you're going to try to raise some money for maybe some kayak storage. Please sit down if you would have and feel comfortable, and if you'd just be kind enough to give your name and address for
My
the
name is
record.
Jim Godding. My wife Maureen was here. I had to pitch it for her. She had to go to choir bells or something, I don't know. 65 Sheridan Drive, Marshfield. We are behind Matty K's Playground. First of all, I want to thank you guys for your continued support, helping us helping my wife heal from this terrible tragedy by giving to the community. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. So what we do, we've done these in the past. It's really not a fundraiser. My wife calls it a fundraiser. Where we just accept donations. There's no fee. She'll go down there, play the music, just a parking lot party. People come off the beach and join and dance, and it's just very low key, but it's a lot of smiles, and that's what we try to do. So always go through Cindy first, go through try to do the right thing, and she told us that we had to come before you to get the approval to do the, we're not going to close it down, we're not going to disrupt traffic, we're not going to do anything detrimental.
Yep, I know that Cindy Castro recommended you come to us. We're more than happy to do this. Any discussion from my colleagues? If not, and hearing none, then I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the request of Maureen Godding to hold the Wrexham Beach parking lot celebration on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. Yes, sir.
Sunday, May 19th. She did send Mr. Maresco.
So
she had
it's
a
confirmed it is on the 19th?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. It was
Originally, the
gonna-
19th was a rain date. but
Yeah, the 19th was a rain date.
She had a conflict on the 18th.
Do you want to leave it open just in case?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Well, we can vote it so you can go either day.
18th or 19th, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
Yeah, so we'll just vote it so you can go either day, the rain date, or however you want to do it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion, the board moves to approve the request of Maureen Godding to hold a Wrexham Beach parking lot celebration on either Saturday, May 18th, from 6 to 8 p.m., or Sunday, May 19th, 2024. The purpose would be to hold a line dancing party during which they'll accept, but are not required, donations to the benefit of the playground structure, and access to electricity will be made available. And currently, the date is slated for Sunday, the 19th. And we'll say the rain date will be the 18th. How's that? Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Sunday, May 19th, with a rain date of May 18th.
Excellent.
Thank you
It's
for
a
your
great thing
time.
you're doing. Thanks for coming and doing it.
Thank you. Hopefully, we'll do it for many years to come.
We hope so.
You guys, Lily's Craft Barbecue?
You are good.
Kate is good.
Well, we very rarely have people that are fascinated with our meetings, so whenever someone's here, Steve's antenna go up and he goes, Jim, they're not here to watch. Which item are we at? I know I saw this near the end, right?
17.
17?
17?
No.
No, not
18.
18.
not unless you're from the Council of Aging.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just our eyes.
You might be from Lily's Craft Barbecue and Catering? All right, so this is a discussion vote on the application for the annual common victular license for Lily Craft Barbecue and Catering. Gentlemen, you have the floor if you'd be kind enough to introduce yourself and give your address and give us a little update.
Thank you. John Sigmund, 17-year resident of Plymouth County. I'm up in Hingham, 144 Summer Street.
Chris Cahill, 179 Russ Street in Randolph, Mass.
Thank you. So your plans are?
Plans are, I've been looking for a local business because I believe local businesses are the best type of businesses. So I'd like to say the stars aligned, but maybe I should say the sun and moon aligned today. But Fetch Barbecue was for sale. The current owners are moving back down south. I have a real taste for barbecue after living in Texas for multiple years. I'm not a cook, but I'm partnered with my operating partner, who's a phenomenal chef for multiple decades. It's a great location, great spot, and here we are, learning how to run a business. So thank you for the consideration of it.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
So the name is Lily's Craft Barbecue and Catering. So are you planning on continuing basically similar menu that it has there now?
So it'd essentially be, a similar style menu, curated more to, my abilities.
Of course,
but,
your taste, yeah.
Of course.
How you're
And the name is, tribute to my mother, so.
Fantastic. Any questions, comments from my colleagues?
No?
Then I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve a common vic license for Jonathan, am I pronouncing it right, Sigmund?
Sigmund, yep.
Yes, thank you. Of Hingham for Lily's Craft Barbecue and Catering of 1175 Ocean Street with hours of operation from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., with cooking starting earlier, 8 a.m., pending sign-off from the Building Department and Board of Health. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the common victual license for Jonathan Sigmund of Hingham for Lily's Craft Barbecue and Catering.
Now, so congratulations,
Thank you.
but this does not mean you have to leave our meeting. We've only got about 20 to go.
Welcome to Marshfield.
I'm ready.
We're really looking forward to you opening the business. I love that business. It's got a great location, and I really wish you good luck with it.
Everybody in town has been really helpful.
We're
here-
super
here at
excited.
Town Hall. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, I do notice there's someone, Stephen, in the back. Do they have an additional item that they want to bring up?
I can't.
He just wants tonight to end.
Sean.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Sean? Jeez.
All right, so I think we can go back to 2. All right, we're back to 2. And 2 is, I think, capital budget. Let's
Yes, it
see.
is.
Yes.
So our new accountant will be very pleased to know that we have a 5-year plan, like she said you really should have. And we had a plan from 25 to 29, which, oh my God, believe it or not, almost $39 million of requests in a 5-year plan. We had a total of about 8.7 million for our fiscal year '25. And the select board, as we know, because we voted for it, set a limit of around 4.5. The DPW Enterprise Division asked for a total of 750 worth of upgrades and projects from wastewater, water, solid waste out of retained earnings. Maybe I'll just go through and read them so the public knows what we're going to be doing. or how we-
If I can.
Yes, sir.
We're going to actually vote on the article later,
Yes.
but this is for me just to convey to the board the changes based on the capital budget committee meeting. Some things that we added to it, so if you remember back in December when the board originally voted, it was a much tighter budget. It was about 900,000. The economy was a little better, and we had some major pieces that we needed to fill in, such as the roofs, et cetera. We had done that. Capital budget met a couple of times and voted. DPW, they had a change in superintendents. Tom Reynolds left. Sean Patterson came in. When Tom Reynolds was here, they filed requests out of retained earnings to do a number of projects. When Sean got here, and he notified us at the capital budget committee meeting last week that they were doing changes. Some of those projects they weren't doing. Some projects they're putting out.
Completed.
And then they gave a list. So what I wanted to do was just update the board on what those projects were, and then we'll change in the dollar amount.
We have the treasurer here, so I do believe that although there were changes, and it probably was a result of one going and one coming in, that they're all out of retained earnings, so it's sort of the same bucket from what I understand, so, although the numbers and the amounts have changed.
Yeah, this changed slightly, so
Please proceed if you
the
would.
borrowing supported by taxes is $4,497,010, and that accounts for the roof replacement to the roof covering, so we're putting a membrane. So this goes back, and we've had a number of conversations regarding photovoltaics. So in order to put the photovoltaics on the Governor Winslow, the Daniel Webster, and the Amesway School, those roofs are reaching the end of life. So this company's gonna come in, Tremco, they put this special vinyl covering on, which extends the life of the roof by 25. So we're entering 25 years. So we're entering, so it doesn't make sense. You're not gonna put photovoltaics on a roof that, at the end of life, so we had to do this additional step, and that is to put the membrane on the roof. If you had to replace those roofs right now, those are probably on average about $4 million. It end up costing about 12. Would have to go out and borrow. With the covering, not only will we cover the 3 roofs that I mentioned, but we'll also be repairing Marshfield High School roof. As folks know, there was a blizzard in 2015. There was a couple of feet of snow on the roof. The custodial staff had to go out and shovel. There were some tears, then the roof was repaired. And then over the years, the repairs allowed water to come in. Fred, when he was inspecting the roofs with the company that's doing the job, they detected the wetness, so we have to replace some insulation. We're replacing a membrane piece on top of that roof. And then we're also adding, as the chairman mentioned, we're also adding a walkway up on that roof that's made, I think Fred told me, boats are made out of.
Reinforced fiberglass.
Thank you, Mr.
pad.
Chairman. Thank you. Thank you, great memory. And so that will allow people to walk on it. If they drop a bag, on the walkway, everything will be fine. The problem with flat roofs is they do leak. If you walk on them, the stone and everything, if you drop a screw, as you're fixing some of the equipment, so all the utilities are up on those roofs. So that whole project, to do all that, is $3,557,471. And then, as folks know, we purchased 2 ambulances using ARPA funds. So the difference of what was available in the Plymouth County ARPA funds left for us to spend, left us about $37,539 short, so we've added that to capital budget to balance that out. We're supposed to get the ambulance, Sean, by the end of the month?
April 22nd.
April 22nd, so if we get them, we'll ask the fire department to bring at least one of them up for folks to see as they enter town meeting, because that is the day of town meeting. And then DPW had some changes that were added. So for instance, I'll just very quickly go through DPW wastewater collection system repair, DPW wastewater mobile auxiliary pump, those are both $200,000. DPW wastewater Chevy Colorado replacement truck, $45,000. DPW wastewater Colorado pickup truck for another $45,000. DPW wastewater dump truck, they pulled off, so they're not doing that. DPW wastewater RAS and WAS sludge valves for $75,000. DPW wastewater aeration, air blower rebuild, new enclosure, $100,000. And that brought it up to, that tallies out to $665,000 for that category. For DPW water, they're adding water main upgrades for $120,000, DPW well cleaning and rehab for $50,000, DPW water Old Plain Street water main replacement for $600,000, and DPW water replacement pickup truck $45,000, for a total retained earnings spending of $915,000. So that brings what will be spent out of capital if supported by town meeting. I mentioned earlier, $4,497,010 for borrowing supported by taxes, and the $665,000 for retained earnings wastewater, and $915,000 retained earnings water, for a total capital this year of $6,207,010.
Could you just help me out, Mr. Administrator? I was keep trying.
Yes.
Are we, do you state we're buying 3 dedicated enterprise trucks out of retained earnings?
That is correct. 2 in wastewater and 1 in water.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is really an update. There's no real vote on this evening.
Because we're gonna vote on
gonna
the
vote-
capital budget as amended when we
Correct.
do, yeah.
We do have
So we'll have an errata sheet, so there have been some changes, we had to make an adjustment in the school budget. We're gonna make an adjustment here, so town meeting will vote
On these, yeah.
on these,
So it's just kind of an
on the
initial
changes, right.
For the board.
Yep.
Comments? Stan? If not, we'll
I have
move on.
just one,
Sure.
so, can we just clarify the DPW retained earnings? So originally, they were at, wastewater was at 650, and I know Tom Reynolds, this was, I understand was part of his doing, and water was at 100,000, and now we went from 650 to 665,
That is correct.
and then we've gone from water at 100,000 to 915,000.
That's correct.
And the explanation was the 120, 50, 600. What was the 600,000?
The 600,000 is for the old Plain Street water main replacement.
Okay. It's quite a change.
Mm-hmm.
But- Okay, thank you.
Can't be much retained earnings left.
Actually, the treasurer, let me just pull up, was kind enough to supply me
Wherever
with
the
a list,
treasurer may be.
just in case the board asked that question. It was already thinking ahead.
It's always good to have a little reserve and retained earnings because emergencies always show up.
Okay, so after everything's said and done and things are taken out, oh, bear with me. I know I have it here.
We don't have it in a row.
Okay. After everything's said and done, in wastewater retained earnings, there'll be $382,047 left. In water retained earnings, there'll be $43,575. And in solid waste retained earnings, there'll be $725,317.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Appreciate you getting that together for us. Okay. Then without objection, I'm going to move on to 3, which is a discussion and vote on special and annual town meeting warrant articles. I assume we're going to do this similar, Mike, to our joint session that we did
Yes,
with the advisory board?
yes, we will. I'll quickly read them and then we'll vote. Does the board want, there is a motion if we want to do the motion that's here for the capital stuff, for those changes I read into the record.
I thought that was just informational only, but let me look. If there is, then we shall do that.
Because this is just adding those other items.
Oh, because we're adding the other
Yes.
items? Okay, sure, yeah. All right, that makes sense. All right, so I'd like to make a motion that the board moves on the proposed capital budget changes that include the 4 school roof repairs for Governor Winslow, Daniel Webster, Ames Way, Marshfield High School, conservation tree cutting, and the balance owed on the 2 ambulances being purchased with ARPA funds from the county. All these items were previously voted on in the Capital Budget Committee for their meeting on April 3rd, 2024. The Select Board will vote on the remainder of the capital items for the DPW that have been changed by the DPW regarding their retained earnings in wastewater and water on April 22nd, 2024, after the Capital Budget Committee officially votes on these DPW items at their meeting on April 22nd, 2024. And without any discussion, I would like to make that motion. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to add those items to the capital budget, and the Select Board will vote on the remaining DPW articles after capital budget votes on the 22nd before town meeting. There'll be a meeting in a room where we'll have a meeting. The board will have a meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll quickly go through the items. Okay, starting with the special town meeting. Article 1, will the town vote to approve an expenditure of $6,819.48, corresponding FY24 budget, or transfer from available funds the sum of money for payment of unpaid bills? And the only way, as folks know, unpaid bills can be paid is at town meeting.
Oh, sorry, I'm going to make a motion, so I'm just sitting, I thought we were going to do it all at the end, but I'm going to make a motion that the board moves to approve Article 1 for the special town meeting regarding the unpaid bills. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 2 General Bylaws 188-11, position classes and compensation schedules for deleting existing Schedule B part-time seasonal positions and adding new Schedule B part-time seasonal positions as set forth, or take any other action? And just for everyone's edification, we made corrections in program activities coordinated council on aging, increasing the scale from $22 to $26. That's the range, and public nurses from $44 to $55.
Okay, without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board move to approve Article 2 for the special town meeting regarding compensation updates to the personnel bylaws.
Second.
A motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Article 3, will the town vote to amend Article 8 of the October 16, 2023 special town meeting by changing funding source previously approved by town meeting from stabilization fund to free cash, and further to vote said items by transferring the sum of $2,413,145 from free cash, or take any other action relative thereto?
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 3 for the special town meeting regarding changing funding source from stabilization fund to free cash.
Second.
Motion be made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve. Article 4, will the town vote to transfer the sum of $200,000 from free cash certified water retained earnings to the stabilization fund to replace the funds originally transferred from the stabilization fund to fund items 27 and 28 in Article 8 of the October 16, 2023 special town meeting, or take any other action relative thereto?
I would like to, without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board approve the Article 4 for the special town meeting regarding annual funding source for Article 8 of the fall 2023 special town meeting.
Second.
Motion be made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 4. Article 5, will the town vote pursuant to Chapter 77 of the Acts of 2023 to terminate any stabilization funds dedicated to opiate settlement funds, PFAS settlement funds, and marijuana reserve, and authorize the treasurer-collector to create 3 special revenue accounts under Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53, for the purpose of holding funds related to opiate settlement, PFAS settlement, and marijuana established revenue, and further dedicate those respective funds to the respective special revenue accounts, or take any other actions relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 5 for the special town meeting regarding the creation of 3 special revenue accounts. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 5. Article 6, will the town vote to transfer the sum of $9,042,314 from certified free cash and disperse such funds for the following items detailed in the chart below, or take any other action relative thereto? I'll read them. Item 1, bathroom and locker rooms at the fire department, $562,000. Item 2, Article 8, fall special town meeting, $2,413,145. Item 3, FY '24 budget adjustment, $385,000. Item 4, 3 new police cars, $185,000. Item 5, police certification and costs for school resource officers, $250,000. Item 6, school summer pay, $3,569,659. Item 7, assessors union position adjustment supervisory, $3,100. Item 8, town clerk union position adjustment supervisory, $3,100. Item 9, DPW grave buyback, $1,400. Item 10, DPW purchase a pre-mix heater pothole repair machine for $65,000. Item 11, financial consultants, $500,000. Item 12, Green Harbor Beach Nourishment Match, $350,000. Item 13, Veteran Park Grant Match Removal, Dam Removal for $650,000. Item 14, Council on Aging Cleaning Contract, $12,000. Item 15, Facility Cleaning Contract, $67,950. Item 16, Facility Generator Maintenance, $24,960. And item 17, English Language Arts K through 5 new curriculum, partial payment, $250,000.
Thank you. That was a long one. So without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 6 for the special town meeting regarding free cash distribution. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve. Article 7, will the town transfer from stabilization fund the amount of $3,557,471 to repair the following 4 school roofs: Marshfield High School, Daniel Webster, Governor Winslow, Amesway School, allowing for the installation of the photovoltaic units, The funds will be returned to the stabilization fund upon the town receiving proceeds from our borrowing in July of 2024. Revenue proceeds from the photovoltaics will be used to pay down this note.
Thank you. Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 8 for the special town meeting regarding an addition of alternate members to the COA.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 7. Article 8, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 2 General Bylaws, Council on Aging membership by adding the following sentence at the end of the existing first sentence? In addition, the select board shall annually appoint.
Mr. Misko, so I skipped one, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's redo the second one without objection. I would like to make a motion, the board moves to approve Article 7 for the special town meeting regarding borrowing for the school roofs. Look for a second.
Second.
Right.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 7. Article 8, as mentioned, I'll continue. In addition, the select board shall annually appoint a one-year term up to 2 alternative members who are residents of the town who may serve by the designation of the chairperson in place of any of the 9 members in case any of the vacancies or absences in office of a regular member and otherwise advisory to the regular members or take any other action relative thereto.
Now, I can make that, I'd like, without objection, I'd like the board to move to approve Article 8 of the special town meeting regarding the addition of alternative members to the Council of Aging. Look for a second.
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve adding additional alternative members to the Council on Aging. Article 9, will the town vote to authorize the select board to appoint 2 additional members to the Marshfield Conservation Commission who shall be designated as associate members, and they'll have staggering terms.
I would like, without objection, I'd like to make a motion, the board moves to approve Article 9 for the special town meeting regarding the addition of associate members for the Conservation Commission.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 9. Article 10, will the town vote to ratify the collective bargaining agreement or other employee contracts with any one or more of the following organizations with respect to the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026, or take any other action relative thereto. State Council 93, Local 1700, Department of Public Works employees, the Association of the Marshfield Police, and the Ventris Library professional staff.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion, the board moves to approve Article 10 for the special town meeting regarding the collective bargaining agreements.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 10. Article 11, will the town vote to amend Article 5 of the October 17, 2022 special town meeting, in particular, item 24, library rug and asbestos removal, and authorize the sum of $113,606.48 originally appropriated for said work to be reappropriated and expended on the library's electric generator and gear project, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion, the board moves to approve Article 11 for the special town meeting regarding the funding of the library's generator and gearbox.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Article 12 is the conservation, is the community preservation. I'll just quickly, Article 1, CPC reserve for boat ramp, $669,700. Item number 2, open space recreation, $60,900. Fund Damon's Point Docks, open space recreation, CPA reserve ball field improvements for $55,000. Item 4, open space recreation, $215,000 for Uncle Bud Skate Park improvements. Item 5, open space recreation, $337,000, senior center youth baseball complex improvement. Item 6, historic preservation, $46,260 for Daniel Webster chimney restoration. Item 7, historic preservation, $100,000 for CPA reserve for GAR Hall restoration. Item 8, historic preservation, $13,500 for Winslow House doors. And item number 9, historic preservation, $139,876 reserved for Revolutionary War Veterans Honor Roll.
Thank you. Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 12 of the special town meeting regarding the community preservation projects.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve item Article 12. Article 13, will the town vote to increase the FY 2024 solid waste budget appropriation by $500,000 from $5,127,988 to $5,627,988 to fund additional solid waste curbside collection expenses in the amount of $150,000 and the additional disposal and transportation expense in the amount of $350,000, with said expenses being deferred by solid waste enterprise retained earnings or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve Article 13 of the special town meeting regarding increased appropriation for the DPW's FY24 solid waste budget.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 13. Article 14, will the town vote to appropriate the sum of $150,000 for the purpose of replacing the sewer main in Westbrook Street from Everson Road to Plymouth Ave on related incidental sewer repairs, and to meet appropriation, transfer the sum of $150,000 from wastewater enterprise retained earnings, said funds to be expended under the direction of DPW superintendent and the general supervision of the Board of Public Works, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 14 for the special town meeting regarding replacement of the sewer main on Westbrook Street.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 14. Article 15, will the town vote to transfer $100,000 from solid waste retained earnings, $200,000 from wastewater retained earnings, and $300,000 from water retained earnings to defray costs related to the FY 2024 enterprise budgets?
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board approves Article 15 for the special town meeting regarding the transfer of funds from retained earnings. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion has been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 15. Article 16, will the town vote to appropriate the sum of $100,000 for the purpose of conducting aquifer studies and groundwater investigation relative to the town's municipal water supplies, and to meet this appropriation, transfer the sum of $100,000 from the water enterprise retained earning, said funds to be expended in the direction of the DPW superintendent, general supervision of the Board of Public Works, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 16 of the special town meeting regarding the funding of an aquifer study for the groundwater investigation. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 16. Article 17, will the town vote to increase the FY 2024 wastewater residual waste appropriation by $120,000 from $141,859 to $261,859,000 for additional wastewater residual water, account number 7100-5200-528,000, funding with said expense being deferred by wastewater enterprise retained earnings, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves Article 17, approves Article 17 for the special town meeting regarding increased appropriation for the FY24 wastewater residual waste.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 17. Article 18, I'm not going to read. It is the MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay District as presented by the Planning Board and supported by the Planning Board 5-0.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves the Article 18 for the special town meeting regarding amending zoning bylaw for multifamily dwellings. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 18. Article 19, And Article 19 is, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw? Article 3, Section 305, .3.03, zoning map by adding a new overlay district as shown on the map entitled MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay District, MCMOD, dated December 8, 2023. See attached as Appendix G, adding said overlay district to the list of superimposed zoning districts in Section 305.3.02, in which said district is described as follows. And it talks about the district. It's in the book, but
Without objection, then I would make a motion the board moves to approve Article 19 for the special town meeting regarding amending the zoning map for the multifamily overlay district. Look for a second.
Second.
motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 19. Articles 20 and 21 were ruled by town council as being illegal. As folks know, they were at the joint hearing. If they push the vote's meaningless because they're considered illegal. The legislative, according to town council, this isn't me saying, the legislative branch of government cannot mandate that the executive branch of government do something, so.
All right, then without objection, I would like to make a motion that Article 20 and 21, the select board will not be voting on these articles as they have been ruled illegal. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote not to support 20 and 21 because they're illegal. Now we're moving on to the annual town meeting. Article 1, it's the exception of the town reports.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board approves Article 1 for the annual town meeting regarding receiving the annual reports from the town officers and committees, and look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 1 of the annual. Article 2, will the town vote to establish the salaries and compensation for all elected town officials for fiscal year 2025 or take any other action relative thereto? It's $95,164.
I'd like to make a motion without objection that the board moves to approve Article 2 for the annual town meeting regarding compensation for the elected officials. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 2. Article 3, will the town raise and appropriate or transfer available funds, including wastewater enterprise fund, water enterprise fund, and solid waste enterprise fund, in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53F and a half, such sums of money as it determines necessary for town expenses and charges, including without limitation of the foregoing debt, interest, wages, salaries, reserve fund, and expenses for operation of the town's department and offices, all for FY 2025, beginning on July 1st, 2024, and ended on June 30th, 2025, inclusive in accordance with the following schedule, which is incorporated herein or taken into the action relative thereto, Appendix B and C, General Fund Summary. And the budget is the annual budget is $115,154,910.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 3 of the annual town meeting regarding the FY 25 operating budget. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 3. Article 4 is the capital budget article. Raise and appropriate and transfer available sums, including water, wastewater, solid waste retained earnings, borrow, including from the water, wastewater, or solid waste enterprise funds, or otherwise provide the sums recommended or any of the sums or sums for capital outlay as set forth in the following schedule, or take any other action relative thereto. See Appendix A for current debt information. And if we could just vote this as previously amended.
Okay. Without objection, I would like to make the board, request the board moves to approve Article 4 with the changes aforementioned for the annual town meeting regarding the FY 25 capital budget. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 4. Article 5 is the expenditure limitation for revolving funds under the Massachusetts Town Code, Chapter 95, Finance Budget, Section 95-20, revolving fund bylaws as set forth in the chart below, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board approves Article 5 for the annual town meeting regarding revolving funds expenditure limits. For a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 5. Article 6, will the town vote to raise and appropriate on a borrow in anticipation of receipts of grants or reimbursements in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 4, and 6A, the sum of $741,119.55 to be used with such sum or sums as may be available from the State Highway Fund, or commonly referred to as Chapter 90 funds, together with the provision of easements for the payment of damages and expenses in connection herewith, as authorized to transfer and use for said purpose of any unused funds, or take any other action.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 6 of the annual town meeting regarding Chapter 90 funds.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 6. Article 7, will the town vote to appropriate the sum of $525,000 to support PEG access, which is PEG, which is Public Education and Government Access Services performed by Marshfield Community Media, Inc., consistent with the cable franchise agreement during fiscal year 2025. Media appropriations, transfer the sum from the PEG access and cable-related fund, or take any other action relative thereto.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 7 for the annual town meeting regarding MCM PEG funding.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 7. Article 8, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw, Article 5, use regulation as follows, and this is added, shown in blue, what's being added, open space residential development, C 305-11.04, and there's an S under R1 in the residential, and then an S in the overlay under the WRPD.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 8 for the annual town meeting regarding amending a zoning bylaw table of use for open space residential development.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 8. Article 9, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw, Article 5, use regulation as follows. Article new language should be added, shown in blue. Amend Section 305-5.04 table of use of regulation. Principal use resident number 3, age-restricted adult village, C 305-11.08, by replacing the existing line with the following language. Number 3, under community facilities, age-restricted adult village, C 305-11.08. And under residential R1, there's a blue S, R2, there's an S. And under the overlay in the PMUD, there's an S. WRPD, there's an S.
Okay, without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 9 for the annual town meeting regarding amending zoning bylaw table of use age-restricted adult village.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 9. Article 10 deals with flood proofing. Will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw? Article 13, superimposed districts, use regulation is set forth. Please note the article change, striking out, red is the strikeout, adding the blue, and we're adding flood proofing. Buildings shall be designated in construction in accordance with flood proofing requirements of the Massachusetts State Building Code and the Marshfield Conservation Commission.
I would like to make a motion without objection, the board moves to approve Article 10 with changes aforementioned for the annual town meeting regarding amending zoning bylaw for floodproofing.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 10. Article 11, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw, Article 3, establishment of this districts, Section 305-3.03, zoning map, Article 3, by adding, updating the inland wetland district as shown on the map entitled Revised Inland Wetland District dated January 12, 2024, and described as set forth below, or take any of the action relative thereto. And in red, it says the updated inland wetland district is an overlay that is superimposed over any other zoning district and is provided by Soil Conservation Service of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The soils that are shown on this map are classified by poorly drained and very poorly drained mineral soils and very poorly drained soils formed by inorganic deposits and having a water table at or near the surface 7 to 9 months a year.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to approve Article 11 for the annual town meeting regarding amending the zoning map for the inland wetland district. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 11. Article 12, will the town vote to amend Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw? Article 2, definitions are set forth below or take any action relative thereto. Amend Article 2, definition by adding the following definitions, and this is in blue, EOHLC, Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities or its successors, Housing Trust dash Marshfield Affordable Housing Trust or its successors.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion. The board move to approve Article 12 for the annual town meeting regarding amending the zoning bylaw definitions for EOHLC and the Housing Trust. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 12. Article 13, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw? Article 11, special permit conditions as set forth to take any of the action relative thereto. Please note in this article, language to be removed is shown in red with strikeout. New language to be added shown in blue in bold. Does the board think it's necessary I point those all out? No, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Darcy.
Without objection, I would like to make a motion that the board approve Article 13 with the aforementioned changes, strikeout in red, additions in blue, for the annual town meeting regarding amending the zoning bylaws, Article 305-11.08 for EOHLC and Housing Trust. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion's been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Okay. Article 14. Article 14. Will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaws, Article 13, superimpose districts as set forth below, or take any other action relative thereto? Note, in this article, language to be removed is in red with strikeout. New language to be added shown in blue, and it is bold. And we'll move on.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
without objection, I'd like to have the board move to approve Article 14 with the aforementioned changes, red with strikeout, blue and bold, for the inter-town meeting regarding the amending of the zoning bylaws, Article 305-13.06 for the EOHLC Housing and Housing Trust. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 14. Article 15, will the town vote to amend the Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw, Article 11, special permit conditions as set forth below, or take any other action relative thereto? Red with strikeout is what's being removed. New language, blue, and is in bold. And it's the inclusionary zoning for affordable housing.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve Article 15 with red and strikeout, blue and bold for the inter-town meeting regarding amending the zoning bylaws, Article 305-11.14 for the EOHLC and for the Housing Trust. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly, seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 15. Article 16, will the town vote to amend Marshfield Town Code Division 3 zoning bylaw? Article 11, special permit conditions as set forth, take any of the action relative thereto. Same, red with strikeout, blue and bold, and we'll pass on reading all those changes.
Yes, without objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve Article 15 with red with strikeout, new language added, blue and bold, for the inter-town meeting regarding amending the zoning bylaws of Article 305-11.16 for the EOHLC and for the Housing Trust. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Article 16. Article 17, will the town vote to act upon the recommendations of the Community Preservation Committee for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, to expend or set aside for later expenditures sums of money from the Community Preservation Fund established pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 44B, for the following warrant articles. Item 1, historic, set aside $255,420. Item 2, open space recreation, set aside $255,420. Number 3, affordable housing, set aside $255,420 for the Affordable Housing Reserve. And item 4, administrative, to set aside $125,000 for administrative and operating expenses for the Community Preservation Committee.
Without objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve Article 17 for the annual town meeting regarding the community preservation article. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
We have two articles. Article 18 is okay, but normally the board doesn't vote on private petition articles. Article 19 is a private petition article, which was also ruled illegal, and I'll leave it up to the board.
Yeah, we don't usually vote on private petition articles.
Yep. Excellent. Okay, thank you. And just for anyone watching tonight, we have copies. This is up on the website under town meeting. And you can also put in search quickly and pull up the warrant, so it's available to everyone. And of course, we have the books at town meeting. And we have other pertinent information on the town meeting site.
Let me see if I can find where we are in this agenda now. We did 3, we did all that. We have not done 4. So number 4, we're also for number 3. Number 4 is discussion vote on the 2024 fuel storage license renewals. I guess I should be reading these out.
Read those, Mr. Chairman,
You were
into
going to
the
say
record.
that for me. So one is Rope Marine DBA, 2205 Main Street. Next is EM Realty Trust, it's Public Petroleum, 1933 Ocean Street. Next is AL Prime Energy Consultants, Prime Gasoline, 2170 Ocean Street. Next is Turnpike Auto Service Center, Cedar View Filling Station, 430 Caswell Street. Next is Speedway LLC, Speedway 2470, 2131 Ocean Street. Next is Brewer Green Harbor Marina, SMH Green Harbor Marina, 239 Dyke Road. Next is licensee Rand Handy Oil Company. DBA is Rand Handy Oil Company, 900 Webster Street. Next is McDougall Brothers Enterprise LLC, McDougall Brothers, 750 Webster Street. The next is Quirk Cars as a licensee, Quirk Kia South DBA, 955 Plain Street. Next is Ocean Bluff Automotive, 969 Ocean Street. Next is Marshfield Country Club, DBA is Marshfield Country Club, 515 Moraine Street. Colbia Enterprises, DBA is Shell, 2126 Ocean Street. Ocean Street Auto Repair and Service, Ocean Street Auto Repair and Services, 2054 Ocean Street. J.W. Taylor, licensee, DBA Taylor Marine, 95 Central Street. G.A. Williams and Son, DBA as Williams Coal and Oil Company, 717 Plain Street. Quirk Cars, Inc., it's Quirk Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep, 830 Plain Street. Shoreline Aviation, Inc., which is DBA as Marshfield Municipal Airport, 93 Old Colony Lane. And the final is Hopkinton LNG Corp., located at 226 Enterprise Drive. And without objection or discussion, I would like to make a motion the board moves to approve the aforementioned businesses for their renewal for their annual underground fuel storage license pending an application being submitted and fee being paid. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly second. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the aforementioned businesses for the renewal of the annual underground fuel storage license.
Okay, next is number 5, discussion vote on the request for the permission to declare items as surplus, Ventris
Your
Library.
favorite.
I do love these, but we're not going to dilly-dally this
No,
evening,
we are
Stephen.
not.
Because we've got a lot going on. They have got various iPads that are outdated, they have various books that are outdated. They weed through the collection, and they keep the current and reliable stuff, and they weed out the rest. Without any objection, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve on behalf of the Ventris Library, move the request of the Ventris Library to declare the aforementioned items surplus. Do I need to go through all the items, do you believe?
I think you touched upon the majority of.
Yeah, there's adult fiction books, there's 39 adult CDs, there's 152 children's nonfiction books, there's 89 children's picture books, and there's an HP notebook, just miscellaneous outdated books.
That's correct.
Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the request of the Ventris Library to declare the item surplus.
The next is a donation. The next is a discussion and vote for request for permission to accept a donation for the Ventris Library. This is from the Friends of the Ventris Library. Just so I have this right. This is donated $5,000?
5,000. Yes,
All
it
right,
is,
to be
Mr. Chair.
deposited into the library's gift account. The funds will be used to supplement the library's materials budget. It's a gracious, gracious donation. Without discussion or objection, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to approve on behalf of the Ventris Library a $5,000 donation from the Friends of the Ventris Memorial Library to deposit into the library's gift account. These funds will be used to supplement the library's material budget. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve a $5,000 donation to the Ventris Library.
The next is discussion vote on the Green Harbor Lobster Pound 2024 parking permit renewal. This is just as what we said, it is a parking renewal. Without objection from my peers, I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the license renewal for Paul J. Philpott, manager of record of the Green Harbor Lobster Pound located at 131 Beach Street for parking 46 spaces at $24 per space for the summer of 2024, pending all taxes and fees owed to the town are paid in full, or a satisfactory arrangement for payment will be made with the town treasurer or collector. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve license renewal for Paul J. Philpott, manager of record, Green Harbor Lobster Pound, 131 Beach Street, for 46 parking spaces.
Okay, I think everybody knows that we have already done 8, we have already done 9, we have not done 10. 10 is discussion vote to accept the ethics disclosure submitted by Mark Ford of the advisory board. That is number 10. It's just a pretty simple disclosure. His wife has a part-time literary specialist employed by the school department. It's a de minimis amount of money. And so without objection, I would like to make a motion that the board moves to accept the ethics disclosure on behalf of Mark Ford of the advisory board. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the ethics disclosure by Mark Ford.
The next two were the recreational trails that we did first thing with Ned when we had a couple of extra minutes to go. So we're going to move on to number 13. And number 13 is discussion and vote for the request for permission to accept 6 donations for veterans services. 13. I'll read these out. This is $100 from William and Kathy Odell in memory of Thomas Merrigan. $100 from Thomas and Martha White in memory of Thomas Merrigan. $100 from Charles and Judith Laverty in memory of Thomas Merrigan. $25 from Sheila Tierney in memory of Thomas Merrigan. $500 from an anonymous donor. And $50 from Marianne Bernard in memory of Tom Merrigan. Without any discussion or objection, I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the following donations on behalf of the Veteran Services. 100 from William and Kathy Odell, 100 from Thomas and Martha White, 100 from Thomas and Judith Laverty, $25 from Sheila Tierney, $500 anonymous, and $50 from Marianne Bernard with the previous donations aforementioned. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the aforementioned donations to the Veterans Services Department.
Okay, next is item, sorry, getting tired here. Item 14, discussion vote on request for permission to waive permits for fees for 59 Hatch Street and 500 Furnace Street. These are solar projects. These are zoning board of appeals. This is a next grid pretty procedural waiver for
Correct.
fees. Any,
It's a town project.
yeah, without any objection, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to waive the special permit fees for next grid solar project for 59 Hatch and 500 Furnace Street. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to waive the fees for 59 Hatch and 500 Furnace Street.
Thank you. We've already voted earlier on the Rexham Beach parking lot celebrations. We'll move on to 16. Number 16 is a discussion vote for the request to hold permission for hold yoga classes at Wrexham Beach on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7 a.m. during the summer. Without objection, that I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve Melissa McKim, owner of Unplugged and Be Mindful Yoga LLC, to hold yoga classes at Wrexham Beach on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 7 a.m. during the summer. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Melissa Kim, owner of Unplug and Be Mindful Yoga LLC, to hold classes at Wrexham Beach.
The next is another donation. This is discussion vote for the request for permission to accept a donation for the Council on Aging, and this is a $50 donation. Without objection, I'd like to make a motion then that the board moves to accept a donation on behalf of the Council of Aging in the amount of $50 from Ann Studley to be deposited in the COA gift account. Thank you, Ann Studley. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the donation on behalf of the Council on Aging of $50.
Okay, we've already had the discussion about the change of fetch, which was number 18. We'll move on to 19. Discussion vote and request for permission to hold Seaside Gardens of Marshfield plant sale on the town training green on Saturday, the 18th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 12:30, and that is item number 19. Pretty straightforward, kind of fun thing to do on the green. Any discussions? Without hearing any discussions, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the request of Carolyn Durfee of Seaside Garden Club of Marshfield to hold a plant sale on the town training green on Saturday, May 18th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Seaside Garden Club of Marshfield to hold a plant sale on the training green May 18, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Number 20 is just a follow-up on the previous, a discussion vote on the request for permission of placement of temporary signs, Seaside Gardens of Marshfield plant sale. It's just for signs to advertise the plant sale that we just authorized on the green. Without any further discussion, I'd like to make a motion. The board moves to approve the request of Carolyn Durfee of Seaside Garden Club of Marshfield to place temporary signs around town to advertise their plant sale on May 18th, 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Seaside Garden Club to place temporary signs around town to advertise their sale.
Next one is item number 21, which is an application, I believe, for a race. Discussion vote for request for permission to hold the 2024 Ragnar race on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. We've done this before. They've outlined, I think, I saw this, the outline of the race, all through Brant Rock, down through town. I've done it previous years, I believe. Look forward to doing it again. Any objections or comments from my colleagues? No, hearing none. Then I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the request of Tammy Herschel, Ragnar Road Race Director, to hold their 2024 Ragnar Race Pass Through Marshfield on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Oh, sorry, between the hours of, race between the hours of 4:38 a.m. until 3:30 p.m., which is pending sign-off the Marshfield Police Department, Marshfield Fire Department, and Marshfield Schools. Sorry about that. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the Ragnar Road Race for Saturday, May 18th, 2024.
We're in the tail end here, team. All right, number 22 is discussion vote for the application of the annual peddler's license for Captain Mike Tiki Boat. Doesn't get any better than that. Any objections, any discussion? Hearing no objection or discussion, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve a peddler's license for Michael Fallon of Duxbury for Captain Mike's Tiki Boat LLC, mobile food with hours operation from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m., May through September 2024. The applicant is subject to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts motor vehicle laws and the Town of Marshfield zoning bylaws. The applicant cannot park on a lot and sell from that lot. The vehicle must be used on town roads. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy. Unanimous vote to approve the peddler's license for Mike Fallon of Duxbury for Captain Mike's Tiki Boat LLC.
Number 23 is a discussion vote for the application of an annual Class 1 license. This is for D.H. Smith and Sons. I think this is currently displaying equipment. It's a change of they're selling different items that the ZBA found consistent with their current license.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Any objection from my peers or colleagues? Not hearing any, so I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve the Daniel H. Smith Jr. of Pembroke on an annual Class 1 license for D.H. Smith and Sons LLC located at 887 Plain Street, with the facility to be used for the storage, sale, and repair of Coyote, I think it is pronounced, tractors, and felling trailers. Building 1 houses office, Building 1 houses offices, showroom, and storage, with Building 2, which houses the repair shop. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual Class 1 for D.H. Smith Jr. For D.H. Smith and Sons LLC at 887 Plain Street.
And last but not least, there is a discussion and vote to approve the meeting minutes from February 26, 2024, March 11, 2024, March 18, 2024, March 22nd, 2024, March 26, 2024. And without objection, I would like to make a motion the board approve the meeting minutes from February 26, 2024, March 11, 2024, March 18, 2024, March 22nd, 2024, and March 26, 2024, and look for a second.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the minutes from February 26, 2024, March 11, 2024, March 18, 2024, March 22nd, 2024, and March 26, 2024.
So just ask the team as well as both of you here at the table. It was a big agenda. Just make sure we caught everything, we did everything, right? We didn't miss anything. Okay. It was an important meeting. And so without any further ado, I'd like to make a motion that the Select Board close the meeting of the Select Board on Monday, April 8th, 2024, Town Hall Select Board Chamber that was started at 6:30. I'd like to make a motion that we close the meeting.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn the meeting on, for April 8th.
Meeting's closed.
Good job, Chair.
Nice job.